Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Evo Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give a guide on Bunberry Escalation level 20 battle. Bunberry is weak to ice and you could use either physical or magic DPS. However, later in the battle Bunberry gets permanently weakened to magic attacks, so magic is more preferred, and he also spawns 2 egg adds, so group attacks are more effective because Bunberry also uses provoke, so you cannot target those adds directly at all, but also don't underestimate them because they also can be quite deadly. However, Bunberry uses magic attacks and he'll inflict enfeeble status, so you should be careful if any of your characters gets inflicted with any debuff, as they will take a lot more damage until you nullify it. But while Bunberry uses magic attacks, those eggs will attack you with physical attacks and they can also debuff your magic defense. And Bunberry also sometimes inflicts poison on your whole team, so you need to have Asuna poison to counter it. And also your team will also have pain status, so every time you use a command ability it will take away some HP from that character. And you also need to defeat the first wave of eggs rather quickly, because after they are gone Bunberry gets vulnerable for the remainder of the battle, and from that point you'll be doing a lot more damage to him. And this is crucial because the battle is a DPS race, because at the beginning you will get doom status, so you have to kill the boss before that timer reaches 0 and that's game over. Bunberry level 20 is very tough, and you also need high enough DPS to finish off Bunberry before you run out of time, but you also need to survive. And it is much easier to survive with Bard having his banner ultimate weapon missing score, because he could have lower defenses, or at least it is much easier to survive with it, especially at that point in a battle where Bunberry summons 2 new eggs and gives everyone a massive attack boost. So if you get unlucky and one of your characters get hyper focused, most likely you have to restart, and without Bard's ultimate weapon it is much harder to survive, and you have to hope for a good RNG and enemies not to hyper focus, especially on your DPS. So it took me quite a long time to figure out how to survive this point, but I have gotten it more consistent, so here's a guide. But the way this team works is Bard is debuffing attack and buffing magic defense and attack. Aerith is debuffing ice resistance and primarily healing, but also this physical shield is very important as well. And Sephiroth has edged wings for ice DPS and Odin to apply exploit weakness, but also for AoE damage to finish off those eggs. And depending on what characters you are focusing on, I know Tifa and Yuffie are viable too, but you'll need their limited gear and overspeed nodes unlocked. Zack with Easter Banner is also great too, but I am a Sephiroth sim, so I only have him, and my Sephiroth also has maxed out overspeed tree, and I'll be saving that overspeed for the second wave of eggs when they spawn, just to nuke them with summons, and then focus on the weakened boss, because this battle is a very tight DPS race. And also, this new ice material with ice potency can also be very useful. If you get lucky with a high ice potency stat, then it will very likely be more powerful than normal magic attack stat sticks, unless you have some amazing gold rolls or need to boost your defenses. Aerith has Bahamut outfit with Breath of the Earth, Baharut for heals and PDF buff, Terrarut debuff ice resistance, Princess Guard, and also I will use 2 Jubilations. Then Asuna Poison AoE heal slot, single target Cura and a stat stick or D-Faith just in case. And then in sub-equipment slots Aerith has 3 guild weapons, 1 with physical defense for allies and then 2 with magic defense for allies. And also Aerith has maxed out overspeed tree. Bard has Varvador's outfit with Icy Judgment to buff ice damage, Escutcheon to buff magic defense and attack, Electric Cannon to debuff attack of all enemies, ultimate weapon, and I will use this ult ability for the second wave of eggs, and 3 defensive stat sticks, but just in case I also have Asuna Poison, and then in sub-equipment slots Crimson Staff with magic attack for allies to boost Sephiroth, and then 2 guild weapons with magic defense for allies. And I only unlocked half of Barret's overspeed tree, so he gets a little bit of HP and defenses from it. Sephiroth has Odin outfit with Shiva, Edge Swings for DPS and Odin for exploit weakness, Genji, one ice material with ice buoyancy and 2 stat sticks with magic attack and physical defense. And then in sub-equipment slot, Sephiroth has Gargantuan Monolith with HP and magic defense, Kath Paluk to max out magic attack and also boost ice buoyancy and sort of GS, but you could also use Protector's Blade or any other weapon with magic attack for allies. But also Sephiroth has maxed out overspeed tree. Alright, as soon as you get 4 EB, do exploit weakness with Sephiroth and then Escuchon with Barret, and with Aerith you can do Terror Rod, but those first ones are very important because they have 50 and 70% HP requirement for those buffs to apply. And as soon as you get max stance with Sephiroth, all you'll be doing is DPS, but with Barret, if you can, I would recommend just keep doing Electro Cannon, because it will boost his limit gauge the most, and you want to get his Shiva Musaman as quickly as you can. So unless you really have to use Escuchon, just keep doing Electro Cannon. And also, sometimes it might not be possible, but I recommend whenever you see Bunberry attacking you, try to switch to defense. But also the green flower is poison, so that's fine. My Sephiroth is in danger. But that's a very good example how a second ago he had 50% HP and then he was almost dead. So don't underestimate those bunny eggs, because they are just as dangerous. Okay, Mana Breach Eye. But also with Barret, I know I don't need his increased defenses, I just activate attacker tuning here for that extra EB to get his limit gauge faster. And now I just need to use Terror Rod with Aerith and we'll be fine. And also don't worry about this attack, it will just be poison. It's perfect. Because ideally you want to bonk those eggs here around this time or after this attack, and they won't be dead yet, they still have a little bit HP left, but this is fine because we can finish them off with AoE attacks. And this is actually even better because we can get next Shiva Musaman and Shiva for that extra big bonk. The second wave of adds, but this is just poison, so don't worry, it doesn't really do much damage, it just poison, so you have to heal from it. But the same thing here, and now just do Odin Blade for AoE damage, so we can finish off those eggs as quickly as possible. But also I'm actually using Jubilation here, just in case so I don't die. But mainly just for that extra AB. Because this is a DPS race, and I would say you want to finish off Bunberry X at the latest when you are still at 1000 something timer. So you still have time to finish off Bunberry. And actually, alright, let's do Cura, because this is Eggfall Grudge, and this is a quite powerful magic attack, and it will hurt, so you have to get your magic defense up and also debuff his magic attack. Actually I didn't think it would connect, because Sephiroth's Edge Swings animation is slow, but with Aerith, now actually the overspeed, just to get my HP back, but also to get some progress on her limit gauge. Actually, I screwed up. You don't want to use Terra Rods before this attack, because flower, the white flower, it just nullifies debuffs, so now you want to use Terra. But also here, just pray that you survive, because if those eggs, anything focuses on just one character, you are dead. There is nothing you can do. I got lucky here, so this is just RNG, but here, activate Overspeed on Sephiroth before you do summons. This is crucial because you need that extra damage from Overspeed for this very big bonk, and now it'll be just easier because those hyper powerful eggs are just dead, so you don't have to worry about surviving anymore. But until you get those summons, you have to survive and hope for that RNG. Alright, now just fully debuff Bunberry again. But also I think at least level 3 overspeeds on your DPS should possibly be fine. If you have Sephiroth, then you can finish off those eggs just after if you don't one-shot them with Shiva. But that should be basically it. But you really want to either one-shot them or almost kill them. So level 3, level 4. Alright, I see that magic attack debuff, the buff expiring, so I have to reapply it for Sephiroth. But now it's just those Eggful Grudges, so just make sure that you have magic defense buffed here for those, and your magic, well, Bunberry's magic attack is debuffed, but I think I might be able to kill him before this second attack connects. Maybe? Yeah, actually I do. But you can still survive it. It will be hit the same, but it's just about the timer, the Doom timer. That's your main enemy. Because, well, 164, it was still fine, but it was getting pretty close. But yeah, the second wave of eggs, when they get buffed, in my opinion, that at least without Barrett's banner ultimate weapon, that was the worst moment for me in a battle, because it just RNG. Well, my Sephiroth almost died there. Aerith was pretty close too, but with Barrett's missing score you get 50% increased defenses on top of everything, so it is much easier to survive. If not, it's just RNG and hoping that you get lucky. But yeah, this is a pretty tough battle, but at least I'm happy I got it quite more consistent with that moment. So I could make a guide, so I really hope you find that helpful. And good luck if you want to attempt it yourself. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.